Welcome to my basement bar. This is Drinks with Lucas, and today we're making an Amaretto Sour. It is a drink I discovered recently. I got into cocktails because they were made terribly in my area, and I didn't want to have to drive an hour and a half to the city every weekend to enjoy a nice cocktail. So I started making them in my basement and just fell in love with it and discovering new flavors. And this is one that I'm very glad I discovered, and it's the Amaretto Sour. Amaretto is a almond liqueur, even though it's made with the pits of apricots, actually apricot kernels, but it tastes like almonds. That's the main flavor profile. And we are using the recipe that Jeffery Morgenthaler used, and this has the addition to bourbon. It makes it much more balanced. So we're gonna need a nice amaretto. We're gonna need an overproof bourbon. Overproof means above 50% alcohol. I'm using Bradshaw's bourbon. Randomly picked it out in my liquor store. A rich simple syrup, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, and 1 egg. So let's get started in crafting this cocktail. I love these bottles, fancy little tops. So we're going to start off with 1.5 ounces of amaretto into our tin. And then we are going to be using 3/4 ounce of bourbon. This is going to balance it out nicely from the sweetness of the amaretto. Then a full ounce of lemon juice. And 1/4 ounce of rich simple syrup. Now, would it be a sour without an egg? So we're going to be using 1 egg white. You can use aquafaba if eggs freak you out or you're vegan. But if you're not vegan, it's pasteurized. I've been drinking these for years. You most likely won't run into any issues. People complain about egg white, it's so gross, and then go choke down some raw fish with some raw fish eggs on it, and then they freak out about an egg white. Don't really get it, but dry shake. Emulsify that egg, 15-20 seconds. You can kind of feel it froth up in the shaker. All right. Got a nice froth to that. Now, let's get our ice in our tin and shake for another 12 to 15 seconds. All right. Now, we're going to grab our glass, Hawthorne strainer, fine strainer, strain it in. Wouldn't be a sloppy pour. Wasn't my channel. Woo! Beautiful foam. Now let that separate. Now that's separated, let's get some cherries. You can also use a lemon peel, but I'll just do basic cherries on top. That foam is really thick. So we have the nice foam, we have the cherries. Let's try it out. This is Gustav. You in your morning stretches? Yeah. All right, Jeffery Morgenthaler. That is incredible. The almond and the high proof bourbon just mix so well. It's sweet, but the bourbon just cuts down the sweetness. You get the notes of the almond. That bourbon has notes of vanilla, so actually that bourbon works really well. It's well balanced. It's delicious. You don't get like crazy liquor taste. So if you're a little sensitive to like, say like you wouldn't like a martini or a old fashioned because the alcohol taste is too pungent, this would be perfect because it's a very well balanced but on the sweeter side. That is fantastic.